You can change your life. Trust me, you can. Now the question is, how can you change your life? How long does it take to change your life? And what processes can I take to change my life? Hello, my name is McFish Sandwich, and I teach skateboarding and mind frame changing. I suffered from having a bad monologue of myself and the things I did, which carried on to resentments, angers, and bad times. But through study, meditation, and practice, I've learned certain ways to get rid of the so-called perception that we see of ourselves and to form a new perception so we can, in essence, become a new person. I myself am going on a 40-day journey of change around my internal monologue, who I think I am, what society thinks I am, and everything that just held me back up until this point. I've actually done it before. So when I first started my social media, I was Fresh Diamond Ink or Purple Haze Man. Now the persona of the Purple Haze Man is, it's all about smoking and cannabis and, all that jazz. Basically, I didn't know anything about the social media realm, hashtags, music, chopping videos. I knew how to do editing, like for linear editing, so like 2 VHS tapes on their own cassette reels with a reel in between, and then that's how I did my editing. Back before the cell phones, every single cell phone had a studio editor to do for the videos. But I had to learn all of this myself, and it was hectic. But I had more of a holier than thou kind of mentality, but it was weird because I wasn't even getting noticed for speaking. It was just for me putting joints in my mouth and smoking. And I was like, wow, this is social media. They really don't know what they want to look at, stuff like that. But then when I went to YouTube, because I was on Instagram, I started to see like different patterns with the content and the algorithm would put out. Like, remember when we went from pranks to everybody wanted to be a comedian to everybody's a musician to everybody's a dancer? I feel like all their identities was fighting the real person that they are. Because if you look years later at these YouTubers that were like TikTok dancers or comedians or laugh and blah blah, they've all changed lanes to different venues to where they feel comfortable because that's who they really are. I'm going to explain the process of how to change who you are and how long it's going to take to change the perception of yourself. Now, for me, it took, I'm going to say, like quite a year. In essence, what I had to do is create a persona that I wanted to become, or basically, it's like method acting. Like, say I wanted to be a successful millionaire, dressed in nice suits or penny loafers, and had that mindset of having a Rolex on my arm. That's what I would do. Is just not necessarily have a Rolex, but get better clothes, take my time when I'm eating, things that a millionaire would do in my perception, and treat people in kind. By practicing this thing over 21 days, which is to break a habit, you then create a pattern that becomes something more normal. See, us as humans are habit dwellers. The more we do a routine, the more we learn. The more we learn in that routine, then we incorporate other things to make that routine faster or slower, what have you, whatever works best. But when you incorporate a new habit into the loop, so for instance, if you wanted to stop smoking cigarettes, the sensation of smoking cigarettes makes you happy, but you don't like the smell. So in essence, you'd have to do something from the initial want to the action, and then you get a different outcome. And that's the habit loop going in a circle. That's it right there. So if you disrupt the natural habit and cut it off for 21 days, you become something new. That's step one. Step two, constantly focusing on the person that you want to become. Write a blurb, a note on a piece of paper, and draw who you think that new person that you want to be looks like, right? And I want you to draw 5 key elements that this new person holds that is better than what you're doing right now, something that you achieve to do. Just, take the time, pause this video and do that. I'm actually glad that you're still watching this video up to now. I didn't think anybody would, but these are definitely tried and true practices that I've done myself, but I just haven't evolved or divulged to anybody else because I didn't feel like the time was necessary until I actually finished my hypothesis on this. But I'm embarking a newer identity. If you look at old videos, I had dreadlocks. Yeah, it's totally different. This is day 1 of 40. The third thing to do to change your outlook and your perspective on things, listen to different music. Take your time. If you're a fast running person and you're always doing something, take your time for yourself. Meditate and hear the inner voice inside of you. And instead of talking bad about yourself in a situation, like let's say you're playing baseball and you miss a hit, and you're like, oh man, really down on yourself. Instead, think about if your daughter missed a hit. What would you say to her in that moment? Would you be as angry at her as you are yourself? Or would you be a little softer and record your response? By literally 4 months, you should have a totally new outlook on what you say and how you say it, and then the volume of way you say it, which would incorporate in that new appearance and a new person you're trying to be. All things will become new once your perspective changes. No longer will it seem like the world's against you. People are just, trying to just hurt you or harm you. And more be like, you're empty of the void of thinking negatively and incorporating all positive into your diaspora and having the environment to be a part of that as well. And by having all of that in tandem will bring a spiritual peace, a peace that you can actually work with, and it'd be a whole new world, a whole new outlook on life. A lot of what we suffer with in life right now is the savior complex. A lot of people go to AA for, a power higher than them can save them from something, or they'll go to NA to, a person that has longer time clean than them, is going to guide them with some secret sauce to where they can do things faster. No one's here going to help you like you can help you. No one has any answers at all that you can benefit from except for yourself. So always remember, you have yourself. You have the answers. You just choose not to act on it. And that's what holds a lot of us back. That's what held me back for a long time. When I was working 9 to 5s and being constantly a career kind of person, I noticed I was feeling empty. I was feeling tired. I was feeling lethargic. It was feeling like I was working towards the wall, and I haven't hit that wall yet. But there's no growth beyond that part. And it was very, very troublesome. I was distraught even. I was can I even work a 9 to 5, And then I thought about it to myself, a lot of our ideas nowadays are created from dreams and thoughts. And we live in a day and age where it's not survival of the fittest, it's more of everybody's still here. So we live in a time where it's easier to survive, meaning we have a better opportunity to make it up to the realms that we want to, meaning we have an opportunity to become whoever we want to be. no other point in time could we make money off of dreams, thoughts, or ideas and monetize it and actually have a living and, you know, be able to pay bills and sustain something. Now you can think of a project, create an outline or architect of it, and then sell it to somebody for millions of dollars and live on that. Don't cut yourself short. Take the time and the processes to feel. Speak when you feel like you need to speak, but speak with something of substance that people can learn from. I'm practicing these things that I'm preaching right now, and I'm taking my time to actually really, you know, put together what should be talked about. But that is my video. Please leave a comment down below if you like this. You change your mind frame, you change your perspective, it'll change your skateboarding, change everything. And mind frame is what holds back a lot of skaters from progressing, from just having a good time skating, or just, like, you know, believing in themselves. You have to believe in yourself. Trust me, when you believe in yourself, then others will believe in you and believe the process as well. And that's all the process is. When I looked at a t-shirt in San Francisco before the pandemic, and it said, trust the process, this is what the process is. So all of that shadowy stuff, the dark stuff that nobody wants to tap into, nobody wants to change because they're using those catalysts to hold them back as a crutch in life. Don't do that. You don't want to be 65 and something happened and you're like, oh, I didn't live my life the way I needed to. So please, I implore you, watch this video, take the steps, and I'll hit you with a part 2. Thank you for watching. Make your sandwich. I'm out.